Alright, so I'm going to try to explain a few things of why I've been so long and kind of abandoned the channel in a sense. We'll get to that in a minute, but one thing I will say is I didn't want to abandon the channel, and basically a lot went on, and then, to be completely honest, I then ended up completely forgetting about the channel for quite some time. And it's only recently I went and made another new channel. I was like, hold on, I forgot about this channel, and I went and looked and found my login because I got a few email addresses, quite a few actually. So I ended up having to log into all of them to see which one this channel was on, and I was like, oh shit, yeah, I totally forgot about it. Which is obviously bad, but in my defense, I do have really bad memory, and I mean like seriously bad memory, to the point I've been doctors a shit ton of times about my memory, and they've still done nothing. They're on about doing some bloody thing, some test thing, but this was like a year ago, and they still haven't done it. I've still been on to them. Anyway, I've been to the doctors many times over the last few years with multiple problems that I'm having. And every time the doctors shrug it off and just send me home, basically saying it's just anxiety, you'll be fine, go home. And this was with I don't know, we're looking around fucking between 7 and 10 different things. And that's what they say every time. The doctors where I am are useless. But anyway, we'll roll back to that in a little while. But we're going to roll a bit further backwards, because I think one of my last videos I've done was explaining that my grandma or nan or whatever you like to call them was in hospital on kind of the deathbed. Shortly after that video, she passed away. So that kind of put a massive crunch and a stop to most things, including my normal day-to-day shit. So that kind of pushed me down there. And then, not too long after that, after I was starting to get back on my feet, COVID hit. And yes, I do have anxiety and panic attacks and all that. So hearing all this crap about this coronavirus all over everything, anxiety people, a lot of them flared up and had a lot of bad episodes, which I was included. So I ended up basically literally locking myself away practically in the bedroom, and just, I was like so bad. Anyway, I was trying to avoid it by staying away from every fucker and locked myself away literally. Anyway, I still got it. I ended up getting COVID, which it actually hit me really hard to the point I was trying to be fine. It's like, okay, it's not too bad. It's like cold and your head's a little bit fucked and you feel really rough, but I kind of shrugged off. I was like, okay, it's not too bad. I can handle this. And I just carried on with my day-to-day shit. I was like, okay, I got it now. I'll come out my room, fuck it, and crack on. So that's what I've done. Anyway, one night my partner called me through the kitchen to get my food. And I went through there. I stood there waiting. She was just finishing dishing up and putting gravy and that on. And I started feeling really like weird, and I was starting to wobble a little. And I got really hot, like really quickly. So I ended up trying to run to the front door to open the door to let some cool air in. And before it even got to the door, I literally passed out and headbutted the front door, like smashed all my head in and shit at the time. But yeah, that was a bit rough. So yeah, I ended up passing out over fucking the symptoms and shit of COVID. Anyway, back to all the doctor shit. Been to doctors loads of times about many different things, different symptoms and different things I've been having going on. They're shrugged it off for the last few years. Actually a lot longer than that. But they've been shrugging it off and just sending me home. Things have been getting worse and worse and worse, to the point of now I had to threaten my doctor with legal action if they don't fucking pull their fingers out their ass and do their job. I've written a massive, like, 3 to 4 page essay of everything that's going on with me. even been doing research online for all my symptoms. I've really dug deep into trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong, so I can, you know, get over it, fix myself, and get back to normality. So yeah, I ended up coming across like a few things, but then I didn't have all the symptoms. I had some of the stuff, but then I done more digging, and I ended up coming across this one thing. And this one thing listed practically everything I have. Like, literally, every single thing on their list is one of the problems I had. Which then rang some bells, and I was like, holy shit, could this actually be what's causing all of it? Because I've got so many different issues going on, that when one thing, you know, you find out this one thing that has all of the same issues, which you normally wouldn't think would be involved with each other, and you find this one thing that has and it lists them all, it has to be it. Like, so anyway, I wrote to my doctors with describing what I found, describing all my symptoms and everything yet again to them, but this time with a threat that I'm going to be taking legal action against my doctor for all these years shrugging off these symptoms. They've got it all on record, obviously. I've been to doctors over the last fucking, I don't know, 5-10 years with all these different issues, which have got worse and worse and worse. They don't know what's going on, but yet I've had to go and research shit myself. Anyway, I wrote it down. Anyway, I'm booked in next week for a blood test for this specific thing, or a couple of things. I'm trying to think off the top of my head what they were. So there's a few different basic packages. You got like little package of the name of the thing, and then there's inside the package is a bunch of fucking, you know, problems I get. One of which is one of the main ones, because that's the one that's exhausting me. It's I'm tired all the time, literally falling asleep all the time. Got no energy. I fatigue easily. I can't hardly even get up the top of my steps without being out of breath. But anyway, that comes. There's a lot of other stuff with that as well, but it's a low testosterone, and from the read up that I've done, that is seeming like it's the biggest thing and the biggest problem that I'm having. So they're now testing me for low T, because if it is that, they can literally put me on medication for a bit to bring that testosterone back up, and that should pretty much solve the main parts of my issues. But yeah, that's next week. I've got a blood test for that, and I'm kind of hoping that is that, because I've been struggling with this all my shit for years now, and I can't handle it much more. So if it is that, and I just have to take a pill, and then fuck me, I'm going back to normal because of that, I'd be happy as fucking Larry. The other thing is they're now looking into is my memory loss, which could be a part of low T as well, although it's not listed, but they have said that could possibly be the side effects of that as well. So they're going to look into that. They're also then going to be looking into my history in my past, especially mainly my childhood, because I had a very rough childhood. To the point the doctors themselves have said that they wanted to test this a while back, but they never did. And they want to check me for PDST. PDST? Yeah, they want to check that for that. And then there is one more other thing which they want to do, but I can't literally remember what the hell that was. Some other thing. But yeah, I've been going in that hospital for lung scans, fucking been getting a load of abdomen pains, which they've now been checking. Oh, that's thyroid. They're checking my thyroid, because I've gained a ton of weight over a short period of time, and no matter what I do, that weight will not piss off. It's stuck. So they're thinking there's a thyroid issue. Now, me, I don't exactly know what thyroid is. I haven't got round to actually looking that one up yet. But I'm guessing it's something that breaks down fats. That's what I'm guessing. Which could be another problem, like they said, with my fatigue. Because my body's not breaking down stuff properly, I'm not then getting what my body needs to function. So yeah, there's a lot of stuff been going on. Anyway, they're the main things that they're going to be looking into now that I've actually had to threaten them. which I'm glad they're now looking into it, because I was literally going to take their asses to a solicitor, then court if I had to. And I've already put in formal complaint. I think that might be another thing that's kind of pushed them to actually do their fucking job. But yeah, my doctors are useless. Like, I've lived around the country here, and this is by far the worst doctors I've ever had. It's incredible how bad they are. But yeah, hopefully soon, fingers crossed, they'll figure out if it's low T, which I'm hoping it actually is, just because then I know I can get medication easy, or patch, which will slowly put testosterone in, and that should be everything solved. Well, most of the bad things. But then it comes down to the PDST. I think it's that. But that also involves all the depression side of things and other things that kind of happen. Mood swings and all that sort of shit. So yeah, we're trying to get on the mend. We just need the doctors to play ball and do their job, and we should hopefully be fine not long after that. We find out next week. Well, we don't find out next week. That's when they're taking my blood. Probably a week after that, so a couple of weeks we should know. And hopefully, I'm actually praying it is that, because that's the only thing that now makes sense. And that's an easily solved problem. So I'm hoping it is that. But yeah, there's been all sorts of shit going on as well. Why I haven't been doing videos is just an absolute fucking nightmare. And it's kind of hard as well, because it's fucking mental. But I have 6 kids, which I always only wanted to. I've known my partner since we were both kids, and she's always wanted 6 plus. And I always said hell no when we got together. I'll have 2 and that's it. Boy, girl, that I'd be happy with. But no, I didn't get my way. To the point, there was a few issues, because at one point I stopped. I wouldn't go now, because that's when she had like the 4th. I was like, nah, I'm not having no more. Anyway, she went on the pill and stuff, and then she kind of done the dirty and the naughty on me by sneakily stopping the pill without saying anything, knowing that she'd fall. So that's kind of a bit bad, admittedly. But anyway, we're past all that, and we now end up having 6 kids, which is not something I ever wanted. That many, I can't deal with that. So that's a big struggle there. But yeah, no, one of the things that also kind of put me down a lot was, we had this little dog, Lola. She was like the cutest fucking dog ever. She's like what was she? A Yorkie cross Jack Russell, and she was just absolutely the softest thing ever. She was great with the kids. She'd play with the kids constantly, being all crazy like. Anyway, she got pregnant, and we took her to the vets and those scans and stuff, and they said, yeah, there's this many puppies, and you know, everything looks good. She looks healthy. She's fine. But they said that they're kind of concerned about her structure. Her like pelvis structure is a lot smaller than it should be, and she might struggle to pass the puppies. And it turned out this dog that I brought offline was actually inbreded. So I'd bred with either his father or brother or something. It was not like, it was definitely an inbred dog, which we didn't know. Anyway, she had to go in. They wanted her to have a C-section, just to make sure everything went well with the puppies and everything was good with her, and nothing got stuck or anything like that. So we ended up having the C-section done. We went ahead with that, and they had all the puppies out of her. And that same day, only a few hours later, they called us up and said, you can come get your dog. And we was like, huh, that's a bit quick. Shouldn't she be there overnight? Like, no, she's fine. She's absolutely fine. She can go home. So, oh, okay, wonderful. We'll come get her. We go down and get her, and the first thing we noticed is she didn't seem herself. She was very wobbly and spaced out. But they said that's fine. That's just the stuff that they'd give her, the medicine. So it was like, oh, okay, yeah, it makes sense. And they said that'll wear off after a few hours. Anyway, later that night, she was still spaced out, and we'd go and let her outside, and normally she'd like bomb down there and be all playful, but we understood that she just had a C-section. She's not going to be running around being all nutty like she normally is. But there was still something not right. She was always just staring at nothing and walking around weirdly. So we ended up calling the vets and told them they said the same thing. It's just meds that obviously just taking a little bit longer to come out than usual. And we thought nothing of it. We thought, okay, alright, well, that's the first time we've done C-sections, so they know what they're on about. They're the vets. But they would be to ring back in the morning after and to let me know what she's like in the morning. So I was like, okay, we'll do. So I stayed up till about 3 in the morning with her because she wasn't acting right. She wasn't herself at all. So I stayed up till the latest I could at the time was 3 a.m. And anyway, after that, I went up to bed. And she was fine when I went up to bed. My partner was actually asleep on the sofa. The dog was in the living room in a, what they call that box thing. It's like a breeding box. It's a big box area where they just sit and feed their pups. But she was in one of them. And I went up to bed. And I got woke up, I think that was about 5:30, 6 in the morning, to my partner screaming at my face, telling me the dog's dead. And I was like, you fucking what? I thought that was some sort of sick fucking prank. I was going to lose my shit with her. But anyway, I went down just to check, and no, my dog was dead. It died. So I then had the day-old puppies that couldn't feed, because their mum's dead. So we end up having to get a load of bottles, and we end up bottle feeding them all puppies. But in the meantime, we'd sent her off for an autopsy. We were going to do private autopsy, but the vet said, look, okay, this is really bad. What we're going to do, we're going to pay for the autopsy ourselves, and we'll come and get her from your house in next few minutes if you want, and we'll send her straight off for the autopsy. So I was kind of, should we go private? And partner was just like, no, just get it done. We'll find out what happened, blah, blah, blah. As she was upset, obviously. So we sent the dog off, and that was like only a week later. We got a letter come through from the optician. Is it optician? Anyway, the letter come from the place where they cut them open and check them all. And basically, what that said in the letter was she died from a serious infection. And what that was, there's a few things. So she died of a serious infection because she hadn't been washed out. Like when you have a C-section, or a pet or anything has C-section, they're supposed to flush the womb out and stuff, aren't they, and clean it all. They did not do that. They failed to do that, and it literally says in the report that it hadn't been done, and thus then in turn caused an infection, which led to the death of the dog. The next thing was that they also found in her blood was she had been overdosed with the meds that they put in her to like put her under, and the pain medication was massive, way higher than the dog that size should have had, which also took the part and they said that it put a massive strain on her heart. So yes, basically the vets killed my dog, which I then went fucking apeshit, and kind of kicked up a little bit of a stink, and wanted something done. Which obviously the only thing that could be done at that point was they can fucking pay me compensation for the damages and the fucking hurt and all that shit. They outright refused to do that. They said that they wanted to see the proof of the letter, so I actually photocopied it and sent it to the vets. And then one of their head guys come down from, I think that's Birmingham, and he spoke to me on the phone and read the report, and he then claimed because it had been past 2 weeks, there's nothing further they can do, which sounds like bollocks to me. But yeah, anyway, in the end they didn't do nothing, and that's when COVID was then kicked in to its like mega peak. So everything was then locked down and shut down and couldn't do nothing. We've still got all the evidence as well. We've kept all that, because I'm still might even still bring this up at some point to a solicitor and see if there's anything we can do. But yeah, this has been an absolute fucking nightmare. We're not doing too bad at the minute. We're just trying to get back on our feet. But yeah, we should be coming back. I've already started doing videos today. I've done 5 so far, I think, but I'm going to set them on a schedule to be uploaded or go public. So yeah, there'll be videos coming. But hopefully that's cleared a lot of this shit up why it's been so long, because it's been a while. So yeah, hopefully things are now on the up. So fingers crossed for that. And we should be back real soon. Actually, literally, this is going to be the first video I upload, and then after that it's going to be a flood of shit scheduled to be put to public so you can see. Anyway, we'll see you in the next videos. Bye bye.